champion. I hope you are doing great and wonderful. Welcome to the next session in Bhanzu classes. Now let me ask you the question because now you're well versed with map and the reading of the map. So this is the question. So tell me, where is Haneet with respect to Saira and Nitin? So you have two people over here, Saira and Nitin. So with respect to these two people, you have to tell the position of Haneet. We have already learnt about map reading in the last class, remember? And in this class, we are actually talking about directions, isn't it? And one more important thing we're going to learn about in this session, that is scale. So let's start today's session about directions and scales. We're first going to talk about directions like east, west, north, south instead of right and left. And we are also going to look at a very important thing, which is scale. Scale is very important when it comes about map. I'll tell you how. So kindly pay attention. Now, we know the four directions already, right? East, west, north and south. And where does the sun rise from? The sun rises from the east direction and it sets in the west direction. The sun sets in the west direction. Now, we know that sun is not moving. Actually, earth is rotating and revolution is also happening. The earth rotates from west to east. That is the reason we see that sun is rising from east and setting in the west direction. Now, we have to talk about directions and position. So let me tell you, directions are always related to one's position. If I ask you, where is this girl? You will say that, ma'am, this girl is on the right of the mountain, but she is on the left of the building. Right? You're gonna say that. But my dear, let me tell you, you are using something else to define the direction for this girl. So let me tell you, the directions are always relative to someone's position or some things. Alright, now let's get started and understand the directions. So this is the route of New Delhi, and let's say the parade is happening here. So the parade starts from Rashtrapati Bhavan. Okay, first it starts from the Vijay Chowk, then it travels through the Rajpath Road, and then it reaches the India Gate. Alright, now from the India Gate, we have to take the Tilak Marg. So my dear, this is the Tilak Marg. Then following that, we have to go to B.S. Zalad Marg, and then goes from this part, and then Subhash Marg, and at last it reaches the Red Fort. So this is the route of the parade. So did you understand the directions and how it travels? Yes, we have already learnt about maps in the last class, so I hope it's easy for you now. Alright, now when we talk about the directions, this is east, this is west, that's north, and below we have south. These are the directions. So first, from Vijay Chowk, when it goes till India Gate, we have to go in the east direction, right? And then we have to go in the north. First we're going in the east direction, then we are taking the north direction. It started from the west part and it has reached the north part. So this is direction, my dear. Alright, if you want to direct somebody, you can either use the name of the roads or you can use directions. So both goes hand in hand. Now let us talk about the compass. The compass is a very important thing when we talk about directions. Like the pirates use the compass, yes? So what does the compass do? Suppose you're standing in this direction, the compass is showing like this. The direction you are facing is not exactly north, but you are very, very close to the north. Right now, it is between north and east. So that's the reason we say that this direction is the northeast direction. But my dear, let me also tell you that if you are going to move the compass a little more, then it will show exactly north. And if you're going to rotate it here, then it will show the east direction. Alright, that's how the compass works. If you have this compass, you can easily get the idea of which direction you are facing. The marine people uses this a lot. Now let's understand scales in a better way. So my dear, as I told you, everything cannot be put up in the map. We cannot put up the area, that how big the India Gate is, how big Rashtrapati Bhavan is, right? We cannot put that on the map because map is a little smaller. It just helps you with the direction and the roads. So my dear, we have introduced scales. What does a scale do? Suppose 4 cm on the map is same as dash kilometer on the ground. Can you see at the bottom what is written? Scale is written. Scale is that 2 cm on the map means 1 kilometer. If from Rashtrapati Bhavan till India Gate, let's say we have 4 cm. You can check this by scale. Let's say using the scale you see that it is 4 cm. So 4 cm means how many kilometers? Did you say 2 kilometer? Because 2 cm is 1 kilometer. 2 more centimeter is 1 more kilometer. So that means 4 centimeter is 2 kilometers. So my dear, this is the scale. This is the actual part, the actual distance, whereas this one is the map scale. The scale of the map. The map is showing 4 centimeter distance, but in actual it is 2 kilometer. So the scale is very important when you talk about a map. Alright, now let's move forward and understand scale in a better way. For example, we have this diya over here. Of course, this is not so small. Is it so small? No, right? We have made it on a half centimeter grid because we have a small grid paper. Here we have made it on a 1 centimeter grid. We can also make it on a 2 centimeter grid. For example, this. But this is just a map scale. In actual, it might be different. Let's say what we are showing on 1 centimeter, in actual it is 5 centimeter. Okay, actually the height of this diya is 5 centimeter and maybe the height of this diya will be 2.5 centimeter and for this diya it is 10 centimeter. Okay, so it all depends what your map is showing. Now let's apply all of our understanding to the question that I asked you in the beginning, and the question is, where is Haneet with respect to Sarah with respect to Nitin? Sarah will say that Haneet is on the east direction. But Nitin will say that Haneet is on the back, means in the south direction. Okay, so we have already learnt about it that directions are always relative to one's position, and here is the example of it. Now let's answer a few more questions to master this concept. So the question is, the Karnataka team starts from Bangalore. Now where is Bangalore? Bangalore is in Karnataka only. Alright, it starts from Bangalore and moves in the north direction. Now which all states will it cross in order to reach Delhi? So in order to reach Delhi, it needs to cross 3 states. The first is Maharashtra. Okay, Maharashtra. And then it needs to cross Madhya Pradesh, which is MP. And then it is also going to cross Uttar Pradesh, that is UP. I am writing this in short, but in exam you don't have to write it in shortcuts, okay? You have to write it full. Uttar Pradesh, Madhya Pradesh. Alright, now moving on to the next question. The question is, to go from Gujarat to West Bengal, we should travel towards. So my dear, Gujarat is in the west, but West Bengal is in the east direction. So from Gujarat, if you have to go to West Bengal, then you have to travel towards east direction. Alright, now the last question of the day. Is there any state which is in the north of Jammu and Kashmir? Now this is Jammu and Kashmir over here. In the north of this, which state is that? Did you say Ladakh? Then you are absolutely correct. Ladakh, whose capital is Leh. So this state is in the north. Alright, this is how you have to answer the questions with respect to directions. Now let's summarize whatever we have learned today. So we have learned about directions, that these are the directions, and we can use a compass to find the direction, like how marine people, pirates, the army use it. Okay, and then we have learned about scale, that everything is not of the actual size on the map. On the map, always the scale is given. Now, you practice some questions. Of course, I'm going to see you in the next session with some more practice questions. Till then, bye-bye, take care.